Hey guys, I'm going to show you my tutorial how I converted a 1975 Kirk mask to a Myers mask. First things first is you got to rip off these eyebrows. Got to rip those things off. They come off fairly easy. I didn't use any type of adhesive remover. I just ripped them off. Second thing I did was I cut out some holes for the eyes, drew lines with a pencil like so, and cut them out to get that look. Oval shape. Next thing I did was I wanted to fix the hairline, so I used some liquid latex. I put it on the hairline and folded the hair down, and I also removed the sideburns, these ugly things. I ripped that off and I repurposed the hairline as so. I just used this liquid latex I got off Amazon, but as you can see, I re-glued the hairline and I hid the line that's there usually. Much better, looks more like Michael Myers already. Next thing is we gotta mix our paint because we gotta paint the whole thing white. First thing I did was I wrapped his head open, or head, with a paper bag and some tape, and then I mixed my paint, white paint, acrylic paint, and I also used a drop of blue because you want to get that fish belly white, is that's the color that they called it. And then I have a Masters air gun, and I basically just went little by little, layer by layer. Tried to do it in natural lighting, or actually not natural lighting, but LED lighting in the house, and basically sprayed it little by little. As you can see, this was pretty much done. So it was almost completely finished here. I did leave some spots like the nose, the mouth, around the neck area, also the ear area. I left a little bit of the flesh tone coming through from the Kirk mask. And then what I did was I took the mask and kind of put it in some different lighting and re-sprayed it with some white again, as you're gonna see here. I kind of followed the original way that they did it for the film, where they didn't actually create highlights on it, they just used lighting. So as you can see, I'm just finding some spots where I could basically add some more paint to kind of change up the look of it before I was kind of finished with the white. Because once you finish with the white, you can take the hairnet off, and you don't want to really paint white anymore because you kind of want to avoid getting white in the hair as much as possible. But yeah, here we go. Here is basically the mask with its finished product with the white. Next thing I did was, this is totally optional, but you can add a little bit of weathering. I used some just black paint, a little bit of liquid latex mixed with water, really runny, and I just kind of started to put some on the lips, a little on the nose. You're gonna see that I put a little bit on the forehead, and just kind of make it look like it's kind of dirty a little bit. I really wanted to go with that H1 Halloween look to where the mask is still pretty clean and freshly painted. So I wanted to keep it really white, but I also did want to add a little bit of weathering and some of the areas you see in the movie. Around the eyes, basically you dab it with some paint, and then you don't want to let it dry completely, so then you want to kind of rub it with a sponge just so it darkens the area. You don't want that black to show really thick. You want to just kind of darken the area and it just kind of gives it a different contrast, which you'll see at the end. A little bit more on the nose, a little bit of flesh tone still on there. And if you don't like, if it's too much, good news is you can always just wipe it off like I do here in a second. Yep, just wipe off a little bit, blend it in. Don't be afraid to use the black, especially if it's watered down. Oh, messed up right there. So I wiped that off. All right, next up, I am going to do the hair. Now my hair was completely blonde. Some hairs will be brown, some hairs will be more blonde. I guess I got a good one where it was actually a blonde one, but I ended up painting it anyways. So my hair was actually a lot lighter than you see it there. But basically I used just black paint, acrylic paint, mixed with some water. So it runs through my airbrush really easy, and just kind of went to town on it, and got it basically that dark brown, kind of with the grungy brown with the black streaks in it. With this one, you can get a little bit of overspray, because if you get a little overspray, just wipe it real quick and it'll actually add a little bit of depth to the mask. So I didn't really tape up the mask to do this part. So don't be afraid to get a little bit of that airbrush paint. If you don't have an airbrush, you can also just get your hands wet with black paint, rub it in the hair with water. That'll work too, but this way I feel it was more even and worked better. And here is the finished product. This is in indoor lighting, trying to walk around get some different shadows on it, looking at it from different angles, using my cinematic mode on my iPhone 13, but I think it looks pretty awesome how it comes to life, basically that replica Michael Myers. And here's a still of it in natural lighting outdoors. I think it looks pretty awesome. Just how you can see those blacks popping out and the white, fish belly white. I think it looks pretty badass. All right guys, well that was my rehaul video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this kind of video, like and subscribe. I don't post on here often, but when I do, I try to post some cool content. Most of the time it's Michael Myers mask related. Whenever you do a rehaul, whenever you do a mask, there's one last thing that you gotta do, and that of course is to try on the mask.